I'd buy a tractor to be with you.
I still get hung up over someone who dumped me and moved countries 11 years ago. I've since gotten a fiance for the past 8 years and I have a kid, but sometimes I still miss that person. Is that wrong? No, it's not. It's definitely not. I miss the first person that I really like truly loved every so often, and he was even like a dick to me sometimes. It's natural. Like it's natural for you. If you have love with somebody, it doesn't go away, and you don't, just because it ended doesn't mean you have to put that love away. It's great to have those memories, and it's great to, you know, occasionally look back on them, even if you're currently with someone. It's totally normal. Right? Okay. Moogie, thank you for the 100 biddies. I'm pretty sure if I saw Adriana on Farmers Only, I would assume it's a catfish account. Yeah, actually, that happens to me a lot when I'm on dating apps, to the point where I've gotten stood up on multiple occasions.
They don't believe you.
Yeah, because they don't believe it's actually me that shows up. And then I've gotten stood up. Yeah.
So I want to tell some funny ass shit. So there was this chick that came to my son's birthday party. Mm-hmm. And she had a fucking handgun in her purse.
In Florida?
Yeah. She came strapped to the 4-year-old's birthday party. And then I was like, yo, so what are you going to do later? And she's like, oh, I'm going to another birthday party. And I was like, you're taking the gun? She's like, yeah.
Wow, why is she walking around with a gun?
She takes it everywhere. But I just thought it was hilarious that she goes strapped to a kid's party.
Yeah, that's wild. Yo, Florida is crazy. Like, some Americans be crazy. Like, sorry guys, but that's
Floridians.
Yeah, Florida is crazy. Tommy Savage, thank you for the 95 biddies. I went on this date with this girl who's beautiful. She looked like she belonged on the front of a cover magazine, but she told me in order to go out with her that I had to give up some of my stuff I love, like listening to metal music, which she hates, watching superhero movies. She thinks superhero movies are for kids, and playing video games. We are both bodybuilders. That's one thing we had in common, but to me it wasn't worth it, so I said no thank you. See, you already know then. You already made the right decision, yeah.
That's why it's in your name, Savage.
Yeah, like, because that person literally wants to get rid of you. That's what they're doing. If they tell you, like, hey, I don't want you doing this, this, or this, it's because they're trying to get rid of parts of you. And that's not right. That's not healthy as well. Tony LeBlanc, thank you for the 11 months. My small talk game was always worse. How do I start and hold a first conversation with someone?
Ooh, that's a good question.
For some guys in my group, it seems so easy, but I feel like I'm having a blackout at a final exam. Send me wishes and love. How do you hold a first conversation? Honestly, I feel like you let it be awkward. Like, just remember that, like, you know, like, just remember that if you feel awkward, it's probably only you feeling awkward. And I don't know, I would lean into that. Like, you know, be like, so how is the weather? You know? I don't know. You probably have a better answer.
I've got a good answer for that.
Yeah.
I'd say ask lots of questions and become generally interested in that other person. And then people love talking about themselves. So that's going to make them feel great. And they're going to think you're super interesting. So, like, here's what's ironic about, like, men and women. If the less you talk, like, you should talk like 20% of the time and let her talk like 80% of the time. And she's going to walk away from that conversation saying that you're like the most interesting person in the world. And it's counterintuitive because you think you want to, like, tell someone all about yourself, but it's so much better to find out about somebody else anyway, because it makes your life better anyway. And then they love talking about themselves.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's like the rule of kissing. So, like, kissing with a girl, girls are supposed to go 80% and guys are supposed to go 20%.
Yeah.
So
that's one way to get friend zoned if you try to kiss them too fast.
Yep. I had a relationship for 7 years and everything seemed perfect for the both of us, and I always considered her more loving than me. We are planning on marriage since our third year, but suddenly she started ghosting me completely without any explanation, and after a while I was blocked from everywhere. Today, after 16 months, I found out she just got married. I was over it, but now I feel betrayed and can't commit in long-term relationships, in any relationship at all. And I had another ex cheating before. Sounds like, first of all, this woman was, I mean, I don't know your side. Like, maybe you were doing something wrong, but I don't know that. But from the sound of it, like, it seems like this woman is just the type of user. And she used you until she could find somebody else to be more comfortable with. You were an in-between.
That must have hurt.
A long in-between, because 7 years is a long time, but
That's like Gone Girl.
yeah. But you also have to remember too, like, you know, people change. Like I have no ill against my ex, but like I just can't carry on with him, even with the love I have for him, because we're so different. Like, we're such different people. And when I met him, we were together, but like we're completely different right now, to where it's just not functioning. And I think over 7 years, you just change and you become a different person, and you don't always grow together. Sometimes you grow apart, and that's normal.
But you wouldn't ghost him.
No, actually, I mean, depends on what he did. That's why I'm saying I don't know what this other guy did. Because maybe he said things that were just kind of rude. Maybe I felt like he was encroaching on me, or like sometimes as a woman, sometimes men can make you feel trapped, right? Because we often have to protect ourselves against men in general. But when you get in a long-term relationship with them and they start doing things to you, I think that as a woman, you internally look at it and you start feeling like, oh, they're trapping me into this relationship, right? And it's almost like you essentially in your own brain turn yourself against them, right? But it feels like that. A lot of the times, like whenever I'm in a relationship, sometimes I feel trapped. I'm like, I can't breathe. I don't know who I am because I'm being consumed by you in our relationship or the things that you say. And I need the space and the freedom. And that would cause me to just literally just ghost someone. I've done that quite a few times.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. We're not together. She lived in my guest room until she got her own place. Because she didn't have any other place to go other than the streets. And no way I would be that guy. So she lived with me for 1.5 months without being in a relationship. And yes, it wasn't fun at all for none of us. We kept our friendship for about 6 months, but haven't talked in about 1.5 years. So what's your question?
Oh, he might have been answering.
Okay. Now I've got my own auto insurance.
Nice. Love that.
Oh my god, so true. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you for the 100 biddies. Big love, sis. Oh, thank you. I will finish the Millennial Falcon. I just can't figure it out for some reason. Men also feel they can be trapped too. Do they? Do men feel like they can be trapped?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe it's just like a person thing.
For sure.
Because I feel like that's what I feel like. Like sometimes I just feel suffocated, and then I'll feel like that's why I get so mean. I get mean in my relationships because I feel like I'm suffocated. And I feel like, oh, well, you should see that I'm being suffocated by you. And I don't understand why you don't. So I get aggressive and mean.
I'm fucking afraid of that one, dude. I'm glad we're friends.